So who is this Tracie Irvine anyway? Where does she come from? What does she do? What is she like? So let me answer some of the questions that people have asked me over the years. To begin with, my short little background story, which I could go very long on, but I'll make it short. I spent several years. What got me into the industry was a deep depression, in the sense of I'm not someone who would ever commit suicide because I have seen the pain that it causes the people that are left behind. So no matter how much pain I was in, I could never bring myself to end my life and cause those that love me to feel guilty or wonder what, if they could have stopped me, or just all those pains that come with it. Keeping that in mind, I wasn't beyond waking up every day and talking to God about, hey, it's raining today. Today'd be a really good day to, go off the road or something. Every time I'd have some little health issue, I think, maybe it's cancer. Maybe I've got some bad disease, and that's how I'll go. Kind of blows some of people's theories way out the window about what you focus on, you get sometimes, because there must have been something in the background of my mind that had hope, because I hung on. And probably, in all honesty, get to know me here, it had to do with my faith in God. I really did believe God had a purpose for my life. I just didn't understand, because I was in the place of blaming rather than taking on what I was doing to myself. I didn't understand why life had to suck so bad. Then I discovered it wasn't that life sucked so bad. It was what I was doing in my head that caused me to perceive my life to suck. So therein lay the solution for how I got into this business, so to speak. I hate to call it a business because really it's a life. How did I get into this life that I love so much? Then learning how it's really our subconscious programs that are driving all of our activities, the things that we automatically respond to, get mad at people or get angry or get frustrated or get depressed, and all of those things have to do with the subconscious programming that runs in the background due to previous experiences and things that we've heard and seen, and even things that we've done that we sometimes hold against ourselves, things like that. So coming to an understanding of that, and then being able to go in and reprogram the subconscious to shift my perception of things that have happened to me in the past, and things that I've done in the past, and things that have been said in the past, and being able to just change my whole life and turn my whole life around. And now I am just an inspirational person that finds complete joy in inspiring people and helping people shift their perceptions of what's going on, and help them evaluate and understand, why is it that they have this habit? Why is it that they feel so stuck, and like life, they're just on this horrible unhappy merry-go-round that they can't get off of? And why they can't lose weight? They, no matter what they do, how little they eat, no matter what supplements they take, and they spend hundreds and thousands of dollars a year on trying to lose weight, and yet they gain weight. Things like that. Why is it? And it's all what's going on in our subconscious. So that is the background for how I got into this. And I just got so excited about how my life changed. It was like, this is it. This is what I want to do for the rest of my days. And we are so excited about how it changes lives. People that have been in incest and all kinds of stuff, drug addicts and all of that, and how we are so able to just in days and weeks sometimes flip what's going on inside of them, and then it's a matter of just helping them maintain and get rid of more programs, and it just changes their life. So we've actually created a nonprofit organization, so that we can go into areas where there's been tsunamis or tribal warfare, and major women who've been sex trafficked, and boys and men that have been sex trafficked, things like that, and helping them and training teams to care for these people. So that is that background. So, and then other people are like, so what do you like? What kind of things do you do in your off time? Well, I happen to live in one of the most beautiful places in the world, in my opinion. It's a little tiny place in Arkansas, and even my own daughter thinks Arkansas must be backwards whenever we have tornadoes and stuff. When we first moved here from Texas, my daughter wanted to make sure I knew there was a tornado in my area, because she thought maybe we didn't have emergency warning system. No, Arkansas is not all that backwards. I teased her and said, yeah, somebody runs down the street with a cowbell, let me know. So we live in a beautiful area, according to me. We all have our different likes and dislikes, and we live in the mountains, and it is gorgeous weather almost year round. In my opinion, yes, there's warmer days and there's colder days, there's snow days, but I like the variety. Now, my very favorite place to be is on the beach in Shell Beach, California, where my husband's from. So through our routine with my living free technique, I do something called the happy place. And my happy place is on the beach at Shell Beach. There's this little area when you go down the stairs and you go around all the rocks, and most people don't climb over rocks and around rocks and stuff, and you can only do it at low tide anyway, and get over to this one area. So it's typically pretty private. People will come and bring their kids and play in the water and stuff, but usually when we're there during the day or whatever, people are at work and stuff, and it's just magical for me to sit on warm sand in the sunshine, but the weather there is so cool and that you don't get hot and sweaty. So that's my happy place. So that's my number one happy place. Number two happy place is at the end of my street at a lake. It's a little tiny lake that, very tiny lake. That is because it's a community that has a POA, so that you have to live in the town and pay dues in order to have lake use, and so it's not overwhelmed with public people, and so that makes it nice. You go down the street and just sit there, and sometimes my husband will take our laptops and just work from the lake. So that's my number two place. And part of the fun of going down there, besides the gorgeousness and all the birds and fauna and flora, is our cute little silky terrier that we take with us. And she's kind of goofy because she just likes to sit and stare at the trees for the most part. And then she loves chasing the little tiny fish that are at the water's edge. She'll go down there and she'll just hop around and chase all the little fish and stuff like that. So those are the things that make me happy. Now, I mentioned in there, I think, my husband, that we like to go down there. He is the love of my life and has been since 1980. So rather than putting a year on here and then 3 or 4 years down the road, someone sees this and they think we haven't been married that long. We got married in 1980, and we just have the most amazing relationship. And the funniest or the best thing about my husband is he's so funny. He just is naturally funny. That's all I can say. So my theory is that he's 8 years older than me, so there is a possibility that he would go first. But if I go first, then I know that I will die laughing no matter what my circumstances, because he would be right there keeping me laughing. There is not a day go by that he is not funny. And he doesn't try. I mean, yeah, sometimes he tries because he just enjoys it too. But he just is. These things fly out of his mouth. He makes rhyming songs out of things. And he's just a joy. And he loves me and adores me. And I love him and adore him. And we love and respect each other. It's just such a blessing to be happily married. And so that's my life. I do have a daughter that lives in Texas, and at this moment in time has 3 kids, and is married to an Englishman from England, obviously, and I think the London area, but I'm not real sure. I'm not real good with my geography and stuff. He told me some little town that he's from, and I think one time I looked it up and it was near London. And he is a darling and absolutely loves our grandkids, and I love his accent. And so that is that. Let's see, anything else? Food. Some people think because I have a no diet method program that must mean that I'm not really too into food. Wrong. I don't know that a week can go by without me having pizza. I mean, I could go by. I'm obviously do not have addictions, thanks to my program, but it doesn't mean that I don't have desires. And it doesn't mean that if I go a week without pizza, that I don't go, wow, I didn't have pizza last week. You know, I got to get some pizza this week. So I do like pizza. I like to get the thin crust with usually a Mediterranean style. I love sun-dried tomatoes. So if I buy one of those thin crust pizzas that usually don't have a lot of cheese because grease kind of grosses me out. I've programmed myself that grease is bad, and so grease makes my stomach turn. I could change it if I ever wanted to, thanks to my program. But at this moment in time, my association with grease is not good. So I usually get kind of a healthy-ish thin crust pizza, and then I buy from, I think it's nuts.com or something like that, nutsonline.com, something that's got, they've got all these cute little peanut characters and stuff like that. And I buy their sun-dried tomatoes in bulk, and I keep them in my cabinet. No matter what pizza I make, I always add sun-dried tomatoes to it because that is the cat's meow for me. And like flaky desserts, I don't have them every day because, again, my alignment with my subconscious to my conscious is that that wouldn't be good for me. But I do make sure that if I go somewhere and there's a dessert buffet or something like that, I usually look for the fluffy, crispy-ish, croissant-like or flaky, not real sickening sweet desserts. So those are the desserts that I like. Trying to think if there's anything else. Well, at this moment in time, this is the end of my about me. But I did want, I thought, I could type all this out, but you just don't get the personality in the in reading text. And so I wanted you to see how I wiggle my head, I do silly things, I make silly faces. Sometimes that drives some people crazy. Like, why do you make that face? It's just me. So, but yes, I really am happy like this 99.9% of the time. I have learned, and I can teach you too, if you sign up for one of my programs, I have learned that just how to love life and how to change my perceptions about people and things and the events in my past and even new things that come up that are challenging, because the thing you learn in life is that there is never going to be a life that is free of challenges. We can call them problems, but then it seems like it's something to bring you down. Oh, it's a problem. But when we call them challenges, and we try to, I have something called a gratitude flip. That I do the gratitude flip. I look at the problem and I go, so what good can come from this? What is a good part of this? If I wake up and we live in the mountains, as I said, and so when it's icy, it means like sometimes I can't even go out and walk the dog. I have to go downstairs and go out the back door and stay under the eaves of the house so I don't fall and break something, So I could get up and go, oh man, it's so icy and so bad outside. It's sleeting right now, so I can't even take the dog for a walk. That could be a problem, right? But I can go down and just go, oh, but isn't this such beautiful weather? If we didn't have contrast, I wouldn't love spring, right? I wouldn't love fall. And I start telling myself, not in a fake way, I can literally get myself excited about the beauty of how everything's turned white and how fun that, I'm going downstairs and hanging out under the thing and not getting sleet on me because we have an overhang, we have a covered porch and things like that. And I just start finding ways and reasons to be grateful, and the fact that I have a house to go back into and firewood to keep our house warm. And I mean, I could sit here for hours telling you all the stuff I'm thankful for. So yes, that is the other question. Some people say, is this just fake? Is it something you do whenever you're on your little videos or when they meet me in public or whatever? It seems like you're always happy. Is that true? And it's like, well, no, I have my days. I fully experience my and then because I don't believe in avoiding my thoughts and my feelings, so I fully feel them, I fully recognize them, and then I just move on. And I can teach you how to do that too. So I think that's it about me. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.